30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via various affiliates, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up this afternoon, Joy News investigations uncovered a hidden illegal mining hub deep inside the Ariasu East Forest Reserve, where 30 excavators are busily destroying the landscape. We'll get details of that. Meanwhile, the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining says it feels betrayed by the government in the fight against Galamsey as the controversial mining regulation LI 2462 officially takes effect today. Also coming up, Parliament Appointment Committee postpones vetting of Supreme Court nominee Justice Kwekuteria Akabuafo indefinitely as it probes allegations of abuse and misconduct raised by a private citizen against the judge. We have details of that, and also new MMDCEs welcome decentralized sanitation policy shift as they say it will help with flexibility to design solutions tailored to their specific needs.
The centralization wasn't helpful. That is in no way an indictment on any company or the other, but the system didn't allow you to customize.
Yes, we've listened to the president and we are ready to abide by the standard.
Well, we have more as President Mahama announces tough measures to tackle the country's sanitation crisis, tasking the MMDAs to establish sanitation task force and strictly enforce punitive measures in sports.
Well, the NBA is set to see the most expensive sale in sports history, but for how much, we'll tell you in a moment.
And also coming up, Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority justifies recent fines imposed on vehicle owners for a range of infractions, including dirty or torn car seats and excessive exhaust emissions. The authority says the measures are part of efforts to enforce road safety and environmental standards.
For the entire Accra, some regions don't even have compliance at all, but we were supposed to ensure compliance.
Well, we'll hear the reaction of drivers.
This one kokro. Yeah, but 2 years now when to so shame na se me frɛ du ama samai na se car no finance oh be give 2.5 when they into asu. Omu se kwan na nam so no enya asphalt.
And later in bulletin, award-winning dancehall artist Samini says he's proud of Ghana's current leadership direction under President John Mahama, especially the bold actions of the judiciary to hold public officials accountable. These and more with me, Maame, Nyamekye, Thompson. Stay with us. This is Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. Now, Joy News Investigations has uncovered a secret illegal mining enclave deep within the Ariasu East Forest Reserve with over 30 excavators destroying the natural resource. It is not clear who owns the huge illegal mining enclave, but locals in the area say the place has become a no-go area even for farmers. The mining site is manned by military personnel and persons parading as national security operatives. And Erastus Asaridonko joins us live with more on this. Erastus, what more do we know? Unfortunately, we are unable to get Erastus on the line, but we'll get him and get details of that. Meanwhile, the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining has issued a final warning to government, urging immediate action to revoke LI 2462, which allows mining in forest reserves before it automatically matured into law today. President John Mahama, in his 120-day address, assured Ghanaians that the entire Minerals Act would be revoked when Parliament resumed. However, checks by the coalition revealed that no such motion has been tabled before the House since it returned from recess. Convener Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, addressing a news conference at the said conference, said President John Mahama, with the backing of Parliamentary's majority, still holds the power to halt the ally activation. The group is also demanding immediate investigations into attack by the Ghana Police Service on Minerals Commission's officials during the operations in Akomfre in the Atrima Imponia constituency in the Ashanti region. We're still working the lines to get Erastus Asaridonko on the line, and also Collins Frimpong to give us more details on that. Whilst we try and get them, we can hear from Kenneth Ashigbe.
While the NDC leadership under His Excellency the President publicly condemned illegal mining, the Honorable Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and IGP have demonstrated positive actions to deal with the scourge of Galamsey. However, some of their local officials allegedly profit from it. We demand, 1, that immediate investigations into the case of Honorable Oscar Labi, MP for Awen, and the chiefs that have accused him that he has counter-accused. And these two chairpersons of Axim, constituency chairpersons of Axim and Dunkwao, by the police and national security, ensuring complete transparency and no room for political protection. 2, public disciplinary action by the NDC if any of these allegations are proven. 3, investigations of all mentioned in the Professor Frimpong Boateng report. There are a lot of politically exposed persons that have been mentioned in that report, and that should be looked into. And finally, transparent prosecution with no political protection. We've heard the president say that he will not cover anybody.
Well, let's go to the event now and speak to Collins Frimpong. Collins, which other speakers were there and what have they been saying?
So they were representatives from the Ghana School of Arts and Sciences, and for them, they have been speaking about the LI in as much as the coalition against illegal mining is calling for a total revocation. They believe that the LI in itself is entitled is illegal and it wasn't properly done and unlawful. They want it also to be scrapped totally. So has been happening over here. That will go through for Arusha. Ghana Deputy Director has also been speaking, and he has also been talking about prosecution and also investigations into some of the top politicians that are involved in this. And the issue of Chairman Winfrey also came up during the press conference, in as much as they are praising the government for the intervention or investigations into the Chairman Winfrey who owns Apunta Mining. They want the government or they want prosecutors to extend the investigations into two directors of Apunta Mining so that the whole issue can be, they can find finality to the matter.
All right, thank you so much, Collins Frimpong there. Well, let's also get Erastus Asari Donkos on the line. Erastus, tell us more about this secret illegal mining enclave deep within the Anriasu East Forest. Erastus Asari Donko, can you hear me? You have to reposition yourself and speak to us. Unfortunately, we are unable to get Erastus Asari Donko, but that's the update on illegal mining. Let's turn our attention to Parliament now. The Appointment Committee of Parliament has postponed indefinitely the vetting of Supreme Court Justice nominee Kweku Teria Aka Boafo. The action is to allow for the committee to investigate a petition alleging abuse and the judicial misconduct against the judge. He's a member of the committee Majority Chief Whip, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamapo.
The tenor of the petition and the essence was that there was a matter before Justice Akabuafu, which he determined and entered judgment. And the petitioner claimed that as a party in that case, Justice Akabuafu abused him verbally in the judgment.
Okay.
Now, we have perused the petition. We have also perused the judgment. What we have discovered is that Justice Akabuafu actually quoted from an exhibit adduced by the petitioner as a party in the case. It is the content of that exhibit that he quoted verbatim as part of the judgment to make a point. So if the contents of the exhibit that he quoted were offensive, then those were not the words of Justice Akabuafu. They were the contents of exhibits that form part of the court's records, which he relied on to make a point in some part of the judgment. But we'll deal with this matter. That is why the chairman and all of us saw fit to withhold his vetting until we deal with the petition and establish the the merit or otherwise of it to be able to make progress. If it is meritorious, then we'll report back to plenary.
All right.
If it is not,
all right,
then we'll do the needful and still report back to plenary.
And that's Roxanne Nelson, the FEMAPO, on desk earlier today. Now, James is at Parliament, and let's get him on the line and learn more about what he's also learning from this petition. James, what more are you learning?
So what we're picking up from sources close to the committee is that the allegations raised against Justice Akabuafo, some dated as back as when he served as a High Court judge, even before he was appointed by the former president to the appeals committee. But largely, the basis of the allegations have been that Justice Akabuafo has treated the client who is raising this allegation. The client said he wrote some unprintable words in his judgment in the two cases that he's talking about, especially the one that he oversaw when he was Justice of the Appeals Court. The other one, which happened to be at the High Court, he said was against the New Patriotic Party, and that some relief he sought in that petition or in the case he believes the judge could have awarded, he didn't award. And so Parliament committees are now left to look into the case. If you look at Order 99 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, this petition, when received by the Speaker, is expected to be sent to the Petitions Committee, which is one of the new committees under this new Standing Orders. They will look into it to determine whether it is standing in good faith or it is frivolous or vexatious. We're also learning that this is supposed to be bipartisan probe, where the two sides, both minority and majority, will be looking into it, of course, with help from the appointment committee itself. And so, the standing orders, the investigation's outcome is supposed to be made known within 30 days after receival of this petition. And so, we're looking forward to see when exactly, it is unclear when exactly this will conclude, but within 30 days, we can know whether the petition holds or otherwise.
All right. So, James, what else do we expect on the floor today?
We're expecting some more ministers to appear before the floor, the MPs on the floor, to take urgent questions. Sometimes, for instance, what happened yesterday has been with the foreign minister have not been on the order paper, and so we expect some few surprises as well. But a number of ministers will be appearing to answer questions from the various MPs from their constituencies as well.
Thank you very much, James Savaji, with that latest update from Parliament. Well, the members of the committee, Roxanne, and then Nyamekye Bafwewa, also shared their views on the vetting process with me on this. Let's listen to Nyamekye Bafwewa first.
It is for us to assess the judges who have come before us. The fundamental question then will be the opportunities allotted to members on the panel. Are they sufficient for members of the panel to do a diligent work? We would have to compare to international best practice. When you look at the vetting of ministers, vetting of Supreme Court nominees in other jurisdictions, particularly the United States of America, is this what prevails there? No, it is not the allotment of six opportunity to ask 6 questions. No, you have time to deal with a Supreme Court nominee. And sometimes it takes days. Sometimes it takes days, 2 days, 3 days, because that office is a serious office. So in my humble view, we need to review how we do the vetting. The Supreme Court has a different jurisdiction from the courts where the nominees are coming from. It is not a promotion, it is a fresh appointment. And also the fact that in previous times, the opportunities available were more extensive than this time. Also, the number of questions somebody like Honorable Muntaka used to ask, we all saw it on TV. It is different. What is happening is different.
We can now hear from Roxanne Nelson, the FEMAPO.
The procedure is that when the nominees are forwarded to Parliament, we cause to be published a notice inviting memos and petitions or whatever it is that any person may have against any of the nominees. It was complied with. We only received one petition against Justice Akabuaku. Now, when he makes the point that the questions that Muntaka used to ask is no longer, the same questions are not extended to the chief whip on the minority side, I disagree. I disagree because he's given the opportunity. It is he who has decided not to utilize it. So nobody limits him. In respect of the ranking member, you all attest to the fact that the Honorable Apenyo Marking is on record to have asked questions in excess of 4 hours. 4 hours. This matter is a topical matter among the people in the media, in the public, among the public. So to suggest that the latitude given to former minority leaders to ask questions is no longer available to the minority leader or minority members on the committee is absolutely falsehood.
Okay.
In fact, we are being accused of being overindulgent in terms of the latitude granted to the minority leader.
Now, moving on, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has justified the recent charges imposed on car owners for various vehicle-related infractions, including dirty or torn car seats, excessive exhaust emissions, exceeding approved seating capacity, expired driver's license, invalid roadworthy stickers, and other forms of non-compliance. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, the Acting Chief Executive Officer of the DVLA, Julius Nikwe Korte, clarified that these charges are not new initiatives introduced by his outfit. According to him, the fees are in line with existing road traffic regulations and enforcement protocols aimed at promoting safety, environmental responsibility, and discipline on the roads. We'll hear from him shortly, but first let's walk you through the fees. And I have with me Michael Ashali, who will walk us through that. So, Michael, what roadside officers are checking for these offences during the inspections? Each of these infractions come with a 225 Ghana cedis penalty, right?
Yes, Amiesi, you're right on that. In fact, there are two major categories that they are looking at for these roadside inspections. Let's start from the vehicle-related infractions. We know that they'll be checking for torn and dirty seats. Again, smoky exhaust emissions, then faulty brakes, mirrors, lights, or steering. Again, worn-out tires or seat belts. Also, under that same category, they are checking for expired stickers or plates, fake number plates or registration, excess sitting capacity, and then windscreen damage or tinted glass. And then finally, under that category of vehicle-related infractions, stylish plate, which you know that you are supposed to actually go to the DVLA to give you one. There's a second category, which is license-related infractions, and this is what the roadside officers will be checking: expired or fake driver's license, driving with the wrong license class, no license or learner's permit, fake or expired international license as well, Maame. So we know that the CEO of DVLA, Mr. Korte, has been speaking about this.
Thank you so much, Michael. Now we can listen to some drivers and passengers express their views on the fees.
This one kohro yehro betu 2 year na hwan ntu so hia me na se me fradu amasaman na se kan wan finance o be give 2.5 when dey nto asu omu se kwan na nam so no enya asphalt se kwan no bi ani problem abaso onti me dey madwen kira me chen se enya dwuma na second one number plate ni so mo ka no DBLA for no omo na makwan e ma foreign cars na nam Ghana no omo ba number plate no mo change na so mo change
say India I say omo say because someone here ni ya ono entime ya adwuma I say ye passenger for no ebi no mo ye free baby enti I say omo hwe ni ya saka no yemfo bio esa mo say ni kama na ye su entime ye de entime follow omo
amra na omo de ba na ebi ye nemum ebi de enya ne kwan so no. Number 1, seat belt na omo kan kai I fear with clear but seat belt na ye juma all right. Passing your phone na mutimu no wo mo na mo say seat belt no ese so a onye bi nto wa Ghana ha dombrofo ne ye no ho na de bai.
And those are some drivers expressing their views at the station, and some of them blaming the inaccuracies or the situation they face in their car on the passengers. Well, we can now listen to the explanation given by the acting Chief Executive Officer of the DVLA, Julius Nikwe-Kote.
This has been there from 2012. It is not the doing of Nikwe Julius. It's been there, just that the level of enforcement then wasn't as efficient as it is now. I got to office and I met only 6 compliance officers for the entire Accra. Some regions don't even have compliance at all, but we were supposed to ensure compliance. What will 6 compliance officers do for the whole Greater Accra? So I made it a policy that every station, we have the Adenta office, we have the NAMA, that's the Hacho one, we have the Wager DVLA, then Tema, and head office. I give each station 10 compliance officers, and based on the area they operate, they have where they will go and stand and ensure compliance. So I'm sure it's because I have equipped the compliance officers. That is why the public is now getting to know about this. But it's been there for a very long time. I didn't bring that, and it's part of the LI. When I come into office, the Parliament has not amended any LI for me. The first LI we sent to Parliament is the commercialization of motorcycles. So I have not even amended any LI when it comes to this.
So you're saying these are fees approved by Parliament?
Yes, and you can check the National Road Safety Regulation Act, Traffic Regulation Act. Sorry, check 158 of LI 2180 and come down. You come down to the. Yes, is there the first?
Yes, we've seen the 158 charge.
And this is the Midday News you're still listening to. I am Nyamekye Thompson. We'll take a break and return. Award-winning dancehall artist Samini says he's proud of Ghana's current leadership direction and President John Mahama, especially the bold actions of the judiciary to hold public officials accountable.
I speak to you currently what we are seeing. I'm a happy Ghanaian. The president and the judicial system are doing a good job.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
At DSTV, we listen to what our customers want. That's why we've cooked something big for you. From now to 31st July, pay your subscription and get an instant upgrade to the next higher package for free. Enjoy the best of drama, awesome entertainment for the kids, reality shows, epic Ghanaian talent, family fun, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Pay with *759# and get upgraded instantly. Terms and conditions apply. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports, Mr. Tamaklo.
The Los Angeles Lakers will become the most expensive sports team in history with a valuation of $10 billion US. That's the equivalent of 7.5 billion pounds after an agreement was reached to sell a controlling stake to TWG Global CEO Mark Walter. The Bass family, which has owned the team since 1979, has made a deal to sell to Walter, who was also a controlling stake in the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team and is part of the group that owns Chelsea. The valuation of the Lakers comfortably eclipses that of their rivals, the Boston Celtics, who were sold for $6.1 billion US, the equivalent of $4.6 billion US earlier this year, then a record high price for American sports team.
Thank you very much. Now, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives have welcomed a new government policy allowing them to select their own sanitation service providers through competitive bidding. At an orientation session, they said the shift from a centralized system will give local assemblies the flexibility to design solutions that meet their specific needs. Maxwell Agbaba reports.
It was not a political rally ground, but it felt like one. New Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, MMDCs, burst into spontaneous singing, charged with a renewed sense of purpose, just moments after President Maame delivered his speech. The president announced comprehensive measures to tackle Ghana's perennial sanitation challenges. He directed the MMDCEs to establish district sanitation task forces with clearly defined roles and regular performance assessments.
You are hereby tasked to establish district sanitation task forces with clear responsibilities and regular performance assessments. You must enforce your sanitation bylaws rigorously, including penalties for illegal dumping, open defecation, and improper waste disposal.
He also criticized the country's overly centralized approach to waste management and announced plans to decentralize it. Under the new policy, MMDAs will be empowered to choose their own sanitation service providers through competitive bidding. MCE for Tema Metropolitan Assembly, Abby Bright, welcomed the shift.
Because it gives us some leeway. It also helps us to customize our solutions because, area by area, the issues are different. Some are more complex and, unique. The centralization wasn't helpful. That is in no way, an indictment on any company or the other. But
Maxwell Agbaba with that report. Well, dancehall musician Samini is turning heads, not with a new banger, but with his bold take on Ghana's political tune. After years of waving the NPP flag literally in songs, the award-winning artist says he's now tipping his hat to President John Mahame's leadership and the judiciary's attitude in holding public officers accountable.
I speak to you currently what we're seeing. I'm a happy Ghanaian, and I like the fact that people are being brought to book and justice is being served, or it seems like justice is going to be served. Things like that I am for. I won't sit here and be, walking on eggshells because I think that maybe a certain favorite of mine might be in trouble because Asem Abba. I believe that if you are put in an office, in a public office, it's your responsibility to serve the Ghana and then keep the public purse at heart. Yes. But if you come and you do anything dubious, you should be brought to book.
You should be brought to book. I like that.
Things like that we like to see.
So what you're saying is that President John Mahama and the current NDC government are doing a great job?
The president and the judicial system are doing a good job. So far, I would say that's the area that I have seen a lot of action.
And I must say that interview was on Prime yesterday on our news show.
Yeah, Prime Time. Yeah, with George Quay.
Indeed. Interesting conversation there. Well, let's do what's trending. Jackie and
Derek.
Derek finally came out of his hole.
I know, right?
Actually.
Great. Maame, guess what? DVLA's new sanctions for defaulting drivers and vehicles is
sort of number one in the trends. People don't get why I should be paying some 225 cedis for a tinted glass.
Then don't breach the law.
Tinted glass, oh.
Yes, it is against the law.
Well,
why would you do tinted glasses?
Aside that we all know about expired tickets, fake number plates. Jackie, what does social media be saying about this particular story?
Well, so Jerome says that guys finna carry their cars on their heads and walk with it at this point because there's sanctions in it. And Chameleon says that the person who drafted this really knows red. How is everything 225? Because most of the charges
that is another
225.
question. I mean,
225.
I know, right?
One last comment here. Kasua Chocho says that you they charge 225 for 1 hour seats and all these plenty things for roads not worthy of our cars.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's how we end the midday news here on Joe 99.7 FM. Up next is Living Word with Pastor Benjamin Otabo.